In this video, I'm gonna tell you why I live such a frugal life and why it has nothing to do with being a cheapskate. It's the end of 2024, and yes, I still use an iPhone X, I drive a 2012 Honda Civic, and my wife and I still track all of our expenses using a budgeting app. But before you go and think we're depriving ourselves, in the past year, we've been able to take our dream trip to Japan, swim with whale sharks in the Philippines, and hike mountains out in Banff, Canada, all while saving and investing thousands. If you're new here, my name is JC, and I'm a financial coach that helps people break out of the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle and start living like the frugal rich. Today, I want to share with you 5 reasons why my wife and I choose to live frugally. It's something I've done since my days as a broke boy working at JCPenney for $10 an hour, and it's still the way I live now, even though I make over 6 figures. And a lot of it goes back to reason number 1, how I was raised and my early experiences with money. I grew up in a Filipino immigrant family. My dad was a rice farmer, and my parents made sure that we understood the connection between hard work and money from a young age. They put us to work, mowing lawns, landscaping, and doing home renovations, but more importantly, they taught us the value of $1. For example, I knew mowing, weed whacking, and edging a whole lawn took an hour, and I would earn $20 for that 1 hour. So if I wanted to buy something like a pair of shoes for $80, I'd think about 4 sweaty hours of mowing lawns out in the hot Florida sun, and that alone would make me think twice about buying those shoes. Quickly, I started to learn about the glorious clearance section and $20 shoes from Ross. That way of thinking stuck with me through college. I always knew that if I wanted to buy something, it wouldn't just cost money, but the time it took to earn that money. So I was pretty much living with a scarcity mindset, which was great, you know, as a broke college student that was single. But by the time I started dating this hot Latina that would soon become my wife, I knew I had to become more balanced. Over time, my relationship with money did get healthier, and I finally learned how to start spending mindfully while still saving a lot of money. You see how I don't spend based off impulse?
Very demure, very mindful.
Fast forward to today, we've been together for almost 4 years, and we've been able to save an extra $50,000 without giving up the things we enjoy, like traveling and dining out. So let's dive into the other reasons why I live this way, because these next 4 are actually something you have control over. Reason number 2, consumerism sucks. Everywhere you look, especially on social media, there's a constant push to buy. Shout out to NSYNC. From TikTok trends like how to be that girl in 2024 to the endless day in the life videos, it can feel like everything is designed to make you spend money you don't need to. But here's the kicker. Living frugally means I don't have to keep up with every trend. I get to choose what actually adds value to my life without feeling pressured by what everyone else is doing. For example, when my wife and I were planning our wedding, we decided to figure out what we truly wanted before diving into Pinterest and Instagram for ideas. We literally wrote down what we knew we wanted to prioritize. We knew we wanted an amazing photographer, a hype DJ, and an outdoor tent wedding. And we left out the things we didn't care so much for, like getting real flowers, a videographer, and getting fancy silverware. Having this list written down was so helpful by the time we started seeing wedding ideas pop up on Instagram and on Pinterest. Now we weren't influenced to get that fancy donut wall we saw in a post, nor were we pressured to add the bougie live painter during a reception. We're still not perfect, but once you start noticing the marketing all around you, it becomes easier to choose to go against the grain and make choices that align with your values, not just what social media tells you to buy. Reason number 3, we're not tied down by debt. One of the biggest benefits of frugality is being able to stay as far away from debt as possible. When you live a lifestyle that's affordable and you don't have payments and you have an emergency fund just locked and loaded, it doesn't even make sense to go into debt. Most people like to keep a couple credit cards around as their emergency fund, but that's just because they don't have enough room in their budget to start saving up an actual emergency fund. So let me give you the tea on how being frugal has helped us avoid debt while still enjoying our hobbies like dining out and traveling. We make sure to save on the big stuff. For a lot of people, your biggest monthly expense is probably your housing and your car. My wife and I don't have a car payment to worry about, so our biggest expense is our housing. We have a 2-bed, 2-bath apartment, and we're paying $1,800 a month for it. This was our way of saving on our largest expense. We could have inflated our lifestyle and gotten the Instagram influencer worthy apartment that was $3,000 a month, but now we have an extra $1,200 each month to go towards our emergency fund, our investments, and towards fun stuff. Other big things that you should take a look at to see if there's room for savings is your insurance, your phone bill, and your subscriptions. And yes, don't get me wrong, it's still good to save on the little things like not buying lunch every day or coffee every morning, but that only makes a small impact compared to saving on the big stuff. Reason 4, frugality isn't about sacrifice. A lot of people think frugality means you're constantly missing out and constantly restricting yourself, but that's not true. We love to try new restaurants now that we recently moved to a new city, and we love to go on vacations. Like last week we went to Charlotte, North Carolina for my birthday. But here's the point. Frugality isn't about being cheap, it's about being intentional. If I want to dine out, we're going to allocate money in our budget towards dining out. For traveling, we're going to plan out how much we want to spend on flights, on our hotel, and on the activities we'll take part in. Also, when we do each of these fun things, we make sure to do them in a reasonable way. For dining out, because my wife and I want to try as many new places as possible, most of the time we'll just order one appetizer and one dish to share. So now we're only spending $20 for one restaurant and we'll have more money to use at another restaurant. We'll also take advantage of lunch specials, or we'll download the restaurant's app on our phone in order to find rewards and deals they might have. And in the world of traveling, we'll find the most budget-friendly hotel closest to the action so we can avoid paying for Ubers or for a rental car. And we'll also make sure there's breakfast included in our hotel stay so that we don't need to buy a $15 avocado toast every morning of our trip. And this same principle applies to our daily decisions too. When holidays start coming up, we'll adjust our budget to accommodate for all the gifts. And then when we end up moving apartments later on, we'll adjust our budget for the moving costs. There's a reason why we make a budget every single month, because literally every month is different. Reason 5, being frugal gives me peace of mind. Living like this gives us a sense of security. Like just recently, my wife's car broke down, and instead of panicking, we simply handled it. No stress, no financial scrambling, it's covered. This peace of mind is something that's hard to put a price on. Knowing we're prepared for the unexpected is one of the best things about living a frugal life. So if you want to be a part of the next generation of quiet millionaires, aka humble ballers, aka the frugal rich, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because frugality isn't about depriving yourself, it's about living with intention, enjoying what truly matters, and finding peace in your financial choices. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.